true, Barbara.
Welcome back to another episode of the Deadlight Society. I'm Michael.
And I'm Adam.
I fucking hate you, dude.
I'm gonna edit it out, but I just sat there with my mouth open for way too long.
Way too long. He just, like, it was... Okay, whatever. Moving on. Moving on. This week, we're doing something that we also haven't done before. I know, it was not last week, we did Scream 6. But before that, we did, like, the trivia game that was just an episode itself, and that was the first time that we've done something like that. And this is our first time that we're going to review a TV series instead of a movie. Because this bitch over here finally watched Wednesday, even though it came out in November of last year.
It wasn't because of Michael.
Okay.
That actually wasn't. It's because I finally like Jenna Ortega because of Scream.
I believe that, though. Yeah, I believe that.
I have a new love of Jenna Ortega, and now I had to sit and watch Wednesday.
I've been telling you this, my dude.
The first fucking episode, I was hooked.
This bitch. I've been telling him, and he just didn't want to listen to me because he didn't like Jenna Ortega because of the whole X thing, and he's like, fuck Jenna Ortega, and fuck this. And
made it up.
She did. She's dope. I told you that. I've said that in past episodes.
She understood my character disagreement that she also had personally with it. Mm-hmm. And for that,
all is forgiven. All is forgiven. Okay. But no, I'm glad you're on the same train as me for this one. I love Jenna Ortega. Everything that she's been in has been dope. She's definitely a rising star, and
maybe not for long because of all the weird articles trying to cancel her.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I guess.
Because everybody gets like 4 fucking months, and then
it's like imagine a movie star having an opinion, right? That's just not allowed in Hollywood. So
it's not fucking wild anymore, dude.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, we can touch on that a little bit too.
I mean, we are gonna touch on opinions.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because we have a whole thing to go over.
Yeah, you're right.
Listeners, prepare to possibly get a little bit of a scolding here.
Scolding. I wouldn't really call
not
it
happy.
Listen, I wouldn't call it a scolding because it's really only we haven't really had any bad interactions with anybody yet. Besides, just
the people
this time
who are
now.
like personally reach out and stuff and are like in our DMs and stuff are always awesome.
Yeah,
they're always wholesome.
So we've had
we fucking love you guys.
Some really awesome interactions with people and really cool conversations and just in general, like really just it's been.
Like our listeners in general are fucking cool.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
The people who aren't listeners who trickle in who are dickheads.
Yes, that's very true. And that was, something that I'm definitely or was definitely aware of coming into this and like trying to build this thing that we're trying to build here, you know what I mean? Like, and trying to expand platforms and make videos and do different different kinds of content. Jesus Christ, let me calm down a little bit. But I knew that comes with the territory, right? So like I was waiting for it. I'm waiting for this, dickhead to drop in and give their opinion on something, and we've had it, folks. We've had it. He has came and went very quickly. I'm not going to call anybody out specifically because I personally don't care that much. It was more or less you and this man arguing. So
wait, I was partially trolling, partially like trying to share like a legitimate opinion and like something that I have read elsewhere that's actually like legit.
Yeah,
like we'll touch on it then, but go through other shit before.
Yeah. So we're just gonna touch on this. We're gonna give you some. We'll talk about Wednesday first, and the thing that you're here for to listen to is this review of Wednesday, and we'll leave the rant for last. But it's mainly just going to be a gripe with part of the horror community who feels like their opinion are better than others, and who think that their view of a certain thing is better than somebody else's, and if you don't like this movie because you don't understand it, it's basically elevated horror once again, which we've discussed briefly before about how we feel about that and how people who are huge fans of that.
And now we have justification for our opinions.
100%. So,
because we have been the target of the Midsummer fan club.
The Midsummer fan club.
And God damn it, I hate you all.
Like I said, we'll discuss it. If you don't know what we're talking about, just real quick, it was a TikTok video that we posted making fun of Midsommar. Basically, just like a TikTok saying, "Oh, when does this movie get any good?" And then it's the credits rolling because that's when the movie got good, when it was over, because that movie was awful. And it was just supposed to be, it was just supposed to be a funny, like, haha video. Even if you like the movie, you could still just be like, oh, like, clever, like, whatever, like, you didn't like the movie, that's fine.
People
which
take
is
things personal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's how it should be. Like, I personally have talked shit plenty of times about the Pet Sematary remake, which I've also made a TikTok about making fun of that. And I had a whole bunch of people who agreed with me on that one, though. And I mean, rightfully so, because that movie was garbage. But it's like the point of, like, you're allowed to have an opinion, and it's okay if people don't agree with you. Like, but to kind of target somebody and try to paint them out to be somebody that they're not, that's when you kind of get a little fucked up. Like, don't twist it into something that it wasn't. Like, it was literally a TikTok making fun of this fucking movie that we thought was awful for many of reasons, not just one thing, and not defending any type of character, but, like, don't make it something that it's not, and don't try to flip the script and make it feel like, you know, like we're some type of person when we're not. You know what I mean?
And once again, we'll go into specific details after Wednesday. But for people who are, like, at least wondering, it's all boils down stemming from that.
Yeah, so just stemming from that TikTok, just in case you were curious. But
and I'm sure you'll be like, well, why are you even fucking reading the comments? Why are you doing? We're fucking up and coming. We need to read the fucking comments, okay?
Well, just trying to interact. Yeah, trying to just talk to people. That's like has been the goal this whole time. We've been wanting to interact with people, and now we're finally actually doing that. And like I said, it's been dope up until this point, and this isn't. I wouldn't necessarily call this a bump in the road because I personally don't give a shit. Like,
I don't fucking care.
Like, that's nice that you were trying
it's just an address of boundaries that we have as, like, creators that we need to kind of address.
Pretty much. So that's, like I said, we'll save that for the end of here. It's pretty much all we'll say right now, just so we can move into the content that you're here for. But yeah, Wednesday, awesome. 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, and a 96% of Google users report liking the TV series. So,
what did I say? Is it the Netflix reviews that were 98%?
Probably.
Liked it? Oh.
Yeah, it's been, but I mean, Google, 96% for Google.
Yeah,
so, like, a lot of people who watched this liked it. And I can see why. I personally enjoyed it myself. You liked it.
There's so much deep shit in here.
Yeah.
That's like, you can tell it's completely from love. Like,
oh, yeah.
Tim Burton's obsessed with this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, every detail in here is a callback or, like, something from Addams Family lore, and it's fucking awesome, and it shows.
Yeah.
Shows people gave a shit.
Yeah, that's why I was really, like I said before, that when I watched it, I was really hoping that you were going to like it, because I did really love it, and it was kind of like, it was going to be either or for you, since you kind of have more background in this than I do, so, like, I figured that it was going to be either or for you, but I'm glad it was the same opinion that I have for the most part, but we'll definitely dive into
We might have, like, different, like, specific shit that we don't like or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's come now.
It's typical, though, for us, so that's fine. But for those of you who don't know, this is a Netflix series, so if you have a Netflix account, you can definitely go watch it. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it has been out since November of last year, so, like, it's been out for a minute. You've probably already seen it.
If you don't have a Netflix account, and you're on the fuck Netflix train because of all the stupid charge bullshit that they're trying to bestow on everyone's accounts, because, oh, you're not allowed to share your account with your family. Yeah. Pirate it. That's good. Exactly. Pirate it. It's worth it.
True. Definitely. Definitely do watch that for sure. Let me see here. For those of you who don't, like, know what it's really about, I mean, if you're familiar with the Addams Family, it's really essentially just a call to that. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, it's a reimagining of the Addams Family.
It's just...
a modern take on
you have a new Wednesday, which is Jenna Ortega, but Christina Ricci is in this as one of the, like... I guess you'd call her a professor or some sort. Like, she's one of the, like... plant
dorm mom.
Yeah, there you go, the dorm mom. There we go. So she is in this, which I thought was really cool. And fun fact, apparently she wasn't supposed to be. Apparently Thora Birch was supposed to be her character, which Thora is the actress who plays Danny in Hocus Pocus. She was actually filming scenes for this role, and then a personal conflict or something happened.
She died.
No, she's still alive. Personal conflict happened and she had to drop out from it, so they had to reshoot her scenes, and it was then Christina Ricci's character, which I was surprised to hear because I would have just thought it would have been a given that would have been hers. Like, I don't know, but it worked out for me.
Yeah, I was happy with the end result.
Let me see.
Sorry, I'm still giggling about this. She died.
I wasn't. You caught me off guard. I was like, no, she did not
That's
die.
What I caught it, and I could tell I did. That's why it was so funny to me.
She is still alive. She's breathing. She's fine. I think she was working on her own project, so maybe that was it. I remember she was doing. I forget exactly what it was, but she was like doing her own thing, so maybe that conflicted.
It wasn't sure. Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah, it wasn't Hocus Pocus 2. You jerk. But it's fine. Whatever.
It's fine. We're fine.
Fuck you, that's Disney. How I feel about it, if I'm being honest with you, yeah. But yeah, no, it's really good. I know I keep just saying that it's good, but we'll kind of go into, we always do spoilers part 2, even though this isn't new, so like, I don't feel like spoilers are super important for this one. It's been out, and you should have watched it by now. Adam should have watched it by now, but it's fine.
It's only April. It's only been 6 months.
He said only. The hype has died, my dude.
I mean, true. I still get Wednesday clips on TikTok.
And occasionally.
Actually,
it's definitely died down, though.
I get, like, mostly Yellowstone now.
Okay. Yeah, I've
I don't know why.
never watched that.
Yellowstone.
Okay. But yeah, we gave you the ratings here. So, is there any horror news or anything that you want to mention before we get into part 2?
I did not read anything or look.
I just didn't know if you knew anything off the
no idea,
like off the top of your head. But if not, that's fine. Sure.
I got nothing off the dome now.
Nothing on the top.
Oh, Warner Brothers, I think, is redoing a Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
and I have one actually. Skarsgård is not coming back to play Pennywise in the HBO Max series, and I'm just not okay. Is he
coming back for Bob Gray, though? Is he coming back for Bob Gray?
I don't give a shit. I wanted him as Pennywise.
Their way of saying no Pennywise in the show, but definitely Bob.
I wanted Pennywise.
Could be the twist.
I wanted
Could be the Shyamalan twist of...
Fuck your twist.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, I am sad about it. That isn't really necessarily an act, but like, I kind of also said to Adam the other day, is like when I sent him the screenshot that he's not coming back, I also said I knew that probably was going to be the case because I've watched interviews from him and read stuff from him before that said like that Pennywise role took a lot from him. Like he had nightmares from that. Like it took a lot from him as an actor to be this person and be this creature. Like it just took a lot from him.
To be fair, he did go overboard with some stuff on set and shit.
Yeah,
it's like it's kind of your own fault.
It's kind of your own fault. He's a method actor, my guy. He did a good job.
Well, it's like that's your fault. It's like you chose to do.
Well, you could argue any method actor it's their fault, and that's the role that they get
so it's like don't bitch and complain like, oh, it's this role's fault that I'm this. It's your fault.
It's your
Shut up.
Like, I get it. No, I get what you're saying.
Pull up your fucking big boy pants and just do the fucking role again without doing all the bullshit. You know how to do it, obviously, and can swing in and out of it. Like, you don't have to do the full bullshit.
I get that. I get, like, I understand his perspective is he just doesn't want to step into it again, and I can, as much as I don't want to, I can respect that and try to move forward and still have hope that the the series is gonna be good without him. So, I'm gonna cross my fingers.
It's not going to be.
That's how I feel in my head, my guy, but I'm trying to cross my fingers. I'm trying to be hopeful.
I don't know what they can do. I mean, there's no source material for it to begin with, so.
I think I get that, but I feel like Andy, who was the director of the remake, I think he's involved again, so I'm hoping at least
he is. He's like one of the head showrunners.
So I'm hoping maybe with his direction he'll have some type of way to go with. I don't know. I don't know what to hope for anymore.
Material to work off before.
I get that.
I know he's done good stuff.
That's what I mean. He has other things too, but
stuff with Guillermo, but like,
I don't know. I'm gonna cross my fingers. I'm gonna remain hopeful. That's where I'm at with it. I'm just upset that he's not gonna be in it, but I respect his decision, as he has said that he's had trouble with the role. So that's
pussy.
You know, fuck you, my guy. Leave the man alone.
That was very aggressive. I'm sorry.
But anyway, we'll see when that is finally out, and I would definitely be checking it out regardless. Just like I was kind of nervous with the new Scream with Sydney not being in it, but it actually was fine without her. So like, I'm sure I'll feel the same way when that comes out. But we'll let you know.
Yeah, what did I fucking tell you? You stupid bitch about Scream. Said it was gonna be fucking fine, and it was fucking fine.
And it was, and I feel like it, I don't know,
Look who's the fucking asshole now.
It's me. It's definitely me.
I am the one with the egg on my face.
It is me. It's me. But I think that's it in horror news then. That's all I had, and that's, I think, all you had, right? So.
Yeah, that's everything.
All right, so we're going to cut here. We'll give you the trailer, and then we will come back with some spoilers, things we liked of the series, things we didn't like. I mean, it's not going to be a super in-depth review because it's like, 8, 9 episodes, so like I'm not going to dive into each episode and give you an analysis on each one, but like I'll give you my likes, any dislikes I had, and just general knowledge and trivia, but...
It also might be a short trailer because I don't know about music and copyrights.
You're right. So we'll figure it out. You just
before the edit, you'll know.
True. But yeah, so we'll be back, part 2.
See you after the trailer.
Miss Addams, you've certainly had a very interesting educational journey. 8 schools in 5 years.
Hey, freak. This is a close practice.
The only person who gets to torture my brother is me. I did the world a favor. People like Dalton shouldn't be allowed to procreate. Getting expelled was just a bonus.
You will love Nevermore. It's a magical place where I met your mother. The son I love.
Finally, you will be among peers who understand you. Maybe you'll even make some friends.
Want to take a stab at being social? I do like stabbing. Little did I know I'd be stepping into a nightmare. Full of mystery, mayhem, and murder. I think I'm going to love it here.
And we're back. Part 2.
I'm not back.
Yeah.
I'm mentally not back.
Okay, me neither, but that's fine. We're here. I guess we're going to do Fear Flop right away, just because, like we've said, we kind of neglect that sometimes. So, even though this isn't... I wouldn't really pin this as horror, but it's fine. Fear Flop.
It's spooky.
Spooky. That's spooky, kooky, you know.
But fucking fear.
Fear what?
I mean, I guess 9 or like 9.5.
Fear 9.
9.5, yeah.
Okay,
like,
all right. I was good with the
many
same.
issues. Yeah.
I'd say Fear 9 myself. So yeah, I agree with
Sorry,
that.
I'm trying to mess with my mic cable and it's being stupid.
So Fear 9, Fear 9.5 from both of us. So very well made. Like we said in the beginning here. Is there anything in here that you would say was your favorite part of the series? Do you have a favorite part? Or something that you really enjoyed?
My whole, biggest takeaway from, the entire thing, definitely the fact that, Tim Burton added lore to, shit that didn't need lore.
Okay.
Like the snap and shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't need lore, but, he created lore for it, and I think that shit's really cool.
True.
Other than that, I don't really know what else to say. Addams Family. It's cool.
Kooky.
It's Burton-y.
Yeah. You're right. I guess I was trying to think while I asked you that question because I never really thought about it before myself. But I guess for me, like, I think my favorite part or thing of this series is the scenery and the cinematography of it all. Because it's a very well made and like beautiful show.
That is true, but like,
I wouldn't.
My whole thing is with Burton is the fucking scenery is always going to be great.
Well, yeah, you're right. That's to be expected. But I was
like
glad.
Not even a thing that comes up when I like sit down and watch one of his movies.
Yeah, so I'm glad that it was followed through here. Basically, is I guess how you can interpret that. But it was just I love the whole dark and gloomy and just like the Wednesday vibe. Like I love that it was translated here well, and I also love that Jenna Ortega, again, back with the Jenna Ortega train, but I love that she gave her input in here, which is one of the things that's been a controversy about this show, is that people felt like it was disrespectful for her to give her opinion and change lines and give her perspective on the character, whereas I'm on the complete opposite end of that spectrum, where it's like, she's literally playing this character, she's becoming Wednesday, and you just want her to just be quiet and just like, oh, well, don't be disrespectful to Tim Burton. If he has it this way, then it's supposed to be that way. And like, okay, I get it. Like, obviously Tim Burton is an icon, whereas Jenna Ortega is just up and coming and just new fame. You know what I mean? So like, I get that. But in the same breath, it's like I said, she's that character. She's becoming the character. She did her research, like extensive research into the character. She even, like we said, Christina Ricci is in this show. But she didn't even ask Christina for her input on like how she should play the character, because she didn't want it to be a copy. You know, like she didn't want it to feel like it was her character. Like she wanted to bring a new life to the character, but still keep it traditional, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
I do. I was gonna be so rude for a second. I was just gonna be like, "Are you done?"
No, I'm not done. Actually, I wasn't. Because it's just, but we were talking about it even before we started recording, that we were kind of on the same page with that, where it's like, of course she's allowed to give her input.
That's why I wanted to interject while you were saying that, because I didn't want to like talk over you, but you like went right by it, and I was like, fuck, what do I do? So that's like, are you done?
All right, backtrack. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
But like the relationship between Tim Burton and Jenna Ortega, I was saying it before. Tim Burton is the type of person who, like, if he doesn't like what's going on and it's not his vision completely, he will throw a hissy fit.
Yeah.
If he does not like what you were doing, he will let you know. So the fact that she was allowed to make changes and they were in the final cut of the product, there was no bad blood between Burton and Ortega.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. It was a partnership there. It was a creative partnership.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you create productions. Like, you have a team of people working with you. Mm. It's not all going to be one fucking person making everything.
Yeah, that's essentially, and that's, she really,
we wind up with shit like Terrifier 2, where you have Damien Leone trying to do everything in the fucking movie.
Very true. But it's not even like people are really hyping that up like she changed so much or something, but it's really in reality, like, I'm sure all she did was change a few lines that she felt like didn't represent her character, which I'm sure I would love to see like a comparison as to like what she was supposed to say versus what she changed up in the...
I brought it up to you too. It's like, we're in the digital age of like filmmaking and production work. Like, we're able to do multiple takes in like a 15-minute span.
Yeah.
You can do the original script line. You can do an improv line. You can do what Ortega like thought of beforehand. Like, you can do all these things very, very quick and choose from multiple fucking things with barely any like space saved on a fucking file.
Yeah.
Like, people are making it out to be this big slight against Burton when all he has to do is call cut and ask for a new take.
Yep.
He can see all the takes then and just be like, okay, this one worked best. It's a new fucking age of this shit. It's like, maybe when Stanley Kubrick and stuff was making movies on fucking 35mm or 65mm or whatever the fuck size film it was, like, when it's film, it's a different story. Then it's disrespectful to kind of do whatever the fuck you want and not stick to the big picture of like the people who are like firmly writing the guidelines for the shit. You have one take, you can't do more shit. If not, it's costs way more money for the studio. We don't have that now. It's not a fucking problem.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And like I said, I'm glad that they had that mutual respect for each other that he was able to take her opinions and be like, yeah, like that actually works better. Like let's work together and make something that, you know, people are going to love. And I think it worked out. I mean, I don't understand why people are so mad at her for that. Like I said, they just want actors to just be brainless and just follow
to create problems that don't need to exist.
True. Yeah.
To create some fucking narrative in people's heads of like how Hollywood works. And it's like, no, for the most part, everybody kind of gets along face to face, and we're like, yeah.
That's where the no blinking thing came. Like where she doesn't blink in any of her takes because she tried it in one take, and Tim Burton loved it so much that he was like, all right, don't blink for the rest of it. Like it was just like a mutual, like they got each other. Like I guess they just kind of clicked. Like
they're both fucking weirdos. Yeah, that's the fucking point.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm down, and even like you were saying before, like we feel like those two are going to be close from now on. Like they're going to be in other future projects together. Like I think
she's Tim Burton's new muse.
Yeah,
like the way Winona Ryder and Helen Bonham Carter have been.
Yeah,
it's the same kind of vibe that I get from both of them that Jenna Ortega kind of gives me. It's like that big doughy-eyed kind of like strong bone structured faces.
True. So I think that'll be an interesting future endeavors between them.
Even Johnny Depp, to an extent, too, kind of has that vibe going for him.
Yeah, true.
I think he just likes people with, like, big eyes and, like, scrawny bodies.
All right.
Because even looking at his artwork, it's like, it's all that.
Yeah, I guess that's just his thing, I guess. That's fine. To each their own, I suppose.
I mean, if he wants to make, like, his imagination a reality, I guess he's going to go with what he pictures. I mean,
that's the goal, I'm sure, of anybody who creates anything. It's just, you know, what they see. It's fine. Trying to think. I also, like, I know I keep talking about Jenna Ortega, but I just, like, her dedication to the role.
How can you fucking not? She's literally the main
That's what I mean. She is Wednesday, so, like, I'm just going to keep talking about her. But I think what I find so impressive for this is not only did she learn how to play the cello for this, because she plays the cello in this, for those of you who've seen it, and those are pretty dope scenes for me too, while she's just on that rooftop, and like just the scenery, again, the cinematography is just amazing. But she learned to play the cello for this, and there's also a few other, I think it was like a fencing class, or hold on, I'm going to pull up the trivia really quick. Yeah, the cello, she took fencing classes, archery classes, canoeing classes. She learned how to speak German, and she took boxing lessons as well to prepare for her role. So, like, she really went all in for this. Like, she was dedicated, and she was like, she's Wednesday. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like out of all the new up-and-coming actresses or whatever that you probably could have chose from, I feel like Jenna Ortega is a good choice for this. I think she did a really good job.
I think she's going to be one of those strong actresses that knows what she wants, and people are going to hate her for it.
Fair enough. I can see that as well, but I think she's dope.
She's going to be a strong personality in Hollywood.
Hell yeah.
It's going to make her a lot of enemies, but overall, it's going to be a good product in the outcome.
Yeah, I'm for it though. I mean, fuck what people think. You know what I mean? Like, if I really hope that she does, like you said, kind of like put her foot down and just be this strong voice. So I could see that from her though, and I hope it is where, you know, it
already seems like she's doing that, because like even in interviews and stuff with other co-stars, it seems like she can kind of control like what.
Yeah.
Not like control the room. Like, I want to say Millie Bobby Brown has like another way of doing that. That's kind of like an attitude.
Yeah.
Weird way of doing it, but Jenna can kind of like control with like humor and like getting everybody in. Like it's like a leadership role almost.
Yeah. She does have humor. That's what like all the interviews that I've watched from her. She is really funny and like just a dope personality, I think. So, kind of turned into a Jenna Ortega fan club over here instead of the Chad Michael Murray fan club.
I mean, personally now we've seen how much stuff from her, like just in the past 2 years. So it's kind of hard not to ignore her now.
Very true. But I guess moving on from that. I also I just enjoyed the plot in general here. You know, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's basically, you know, she goes to this new school, this Nevermore, which is it's a place for kids with like abilities and like
it's literally the fucking X-Men mutant school.
Yeah, essentially. Like you got like werewolves there. You have sirens. Like
or
you
literally
have,
Miss Peregrine's School for Peculiar Children. It's the same shit.
Yeah, like you have. It's just all these kids with like abilities who are obviously outcasts because they don't fit in anywhere else. They're always getting in trouble in normal schools, and like so obviously you just put them into this one school together where it's like they're all not the same because they have different abilities, but they're all the same outcasts in that sense. So she gets sent to this school.
Jesus Christ.
And what?
I'm angry now. Tim Burton just made Gothic X-Men.
A Gothic X-Men.
Son of a bitch, Tim.
I love it though. I fuck with it. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, it's a school with all these kids in it, and basically what starts happening is that there starts to be like a string of murders in town, just random people being murdered, and of course they're gonna blame this school. There's a student from this school that has to be responsible for this. They're murdering people. Like it's just makes sense that it's somebody from this school. So essentially, the whole season you're trying to. It's almost like a Scream in a sense too. You're trying to figure out who is the person that's killing everybody, even if it's not necessarily somebody from the school, because you also have outside characters who don't have abilities and don't have...
Do I have to say what it is?
Huh?
Do I have to say what it is, really?
What do you mean?
It's Scooby-Doo. It's everything Velma failed to do.
Everything Velma failed to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Essentially, that's it. I mean, mix it with Scream, too, because you gotta guess who the killer is.
With the fucking psychological powers and everything. Like, it's everything Velma failed to do, but better. Like, it's...
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it that way, but that makes sense, yeah. You're right.
It's just... Yeah, it's Scooby-Doo.
All right. You heard it here. But yeah, no, it's just, like we said, it's just cool. I don't know. Like, it's not an original concept by any means. As we just said, Scream, Scooby-Doo, like it's
Scream,
not
Scooby-Doo,
X-Men. It's definitely not an original in anything. I mean, it's hard to be original in today. Like, there's been so like, how do you be original anymore without taking influence from something? So, like, that's not at all what I'm saying. But it's still a cool idea, and it was a cool show. And I think the payoff was like deserving or like cool because the whole time I'm thinking to myself, it can't be somebody from the school, right? That was too obvious.
Oh, I knew that was one of my one gripes with it. I knew from the fucking start that
it can't be. Yeah. And the only other characters that they really show that are like normies, as they say, are Tyler, which is the guy in the town who worked at the coffee shop that had like a thing with Wednesday. It was like a love interest between Tyler and the other, I forget the other dude's name. I think his real name is Percy in real life, but I forget his character's name. But
I don't know why I want to say Dominic, but I know it's
no, it's not Dominic. I forget. Whatever. The other dude that has her love interest in this, that is, he is not a normie. He's in the school with her, and then it's the normie Tyler, who's from the town, who is also the police chief's son.
What even is that kid's deal? Like, what is his power?
Xavier? I think it's Xavier now that I think about it.
Oh, clairvoyant.
Who?
Clairvoyant.
What the fuck is that?
He can see like future.
Oh yeah. That's his paintings and shit, and like his paintings would like come to life, like the one scratched him or whatever he said.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been a minute since I watched the series. It's been a few months for me now. I haven't watched it.
It's been a couple weeks for me, but I just forget.
I kind of forgot what I was saying.
Good. Fuck you.
I know. I talk too
you
much.
You do that shit to me all the time.
I do.
Now it's payback, bitch.
Dude, I know. I forget where I was. I was just talking about the love interest and just about like how I knew that it wasn't going to be one of the students because they wanted it to be one of the students.
Yeah, they only show off the two people.
Essentially,
and the other dude.
And like we said, there's spoilers. So it's Tyler is it's Jekyll and Hyde. Essentially, is what's happening here, and he's not.
I fucking knew that too. The name that they were going to give it, I knew it for fucking instant.
Yeah, it was cool. I'm telling you, I love the show. But he's a normie, but he's not. So his dad's a normie. He's the cop, right? His dad doesn't have any powers, any abilities, no nothing. But his mother, who passed away, who was married to his father, she was from this Nevermore school, and she was a Hyde herself. So unfortunately, that got passed down to him, and which his father definitely knew. You know what I mean? Like, the dad definitely knew that it was his kid. Like, he had to have, but he's the cop, and, he's going to try to cover it up and try to, like, oh, like, not my son. Like, it has to be somebody from the school. It can't be my son. My son, he's not a Hyde. Like, just because my wife was a Hyde doesn't mean that he is. Like, my guy.
Well, I think that's, like, the whole thing and, like, what he's struggling with. It's like he doesn't want to believe it, so he's trying to find, like, the confirmation bias that it's someone from the school.
Yep.
He's putting all his energy into looking and, like, investigating
when the answer is literally right in front of them. But yeah, which is unfortunate. I mean, obviously any parent doesn't want to believe that that's their kid that's doing this, but the Hyde is controlled by somebody. It's not just making its own like decisions, and the Hyde was brought out of him by somebody. So again, almost as parallel to Scream, it's not one killer, it's two killers. You have, and it ends up being, which I thought was a cool twist as well, it's Christina Ricci's character with the dorm mom.
Three? Yeah, because you have Christina Ricci's character and Tyler. And then you have the evil dude.
What evil dude?
The evil witch dude, wizard dude.
Oh, well, kind of, but like, I guess, yes, you can count him, like the pilgrim dude. Yeah. But he wasn't, like, he had been brought back to life by Christina Ricci's character. Like, she had to collect all the body parts. Like, he wasn't there the whole time. Like, the whole time it's Christina Ricci's character and her controlling Tyler's character with the Hyde, where she's gathering these body parts so she can resurrect this old pilgrim guy who hated the outcasts and didn't like and wanted to eradicate them. Because it's like Goody Addams was like Wednesday's like long relative or whatever that was during that time that it was this pilgrim thing. It's a lot to unpack.
With trial stories.
Yeah. It's a lot to unpack in like a quick podcast episode. That's why I said I'm not going to go like super in detail, but like I definitely like please watch it if you have a Netflix and you haven't watched it. And
it's so much shit, and like you can tell it pulls from so much shit. It's even like just the stuff Burton does like by himself.
Yeah,
but it really is. It boils down to just being explained by X-Men, Scooby-Doo. What else did we say? Scream. Witch Trials, like
a combination of those types of things. Mix that all in a bowl, and you have the new season or the new series of Wednesday, and it has been renewed for a season 2. So I am.
It was renewed like immediately.
Yeah, like almost like literally a few weeks. Like it was almost. You could basically say like the next day because of how like much of it was a hit and right away. But like they waited a few weeks.
It had to have been literally like the next week.
And it was there was a lot of accounts reporting that there was a new season coming, but it wasn't until like maybe 3 weeks that Netflix finally was like, "Oh yeah, season 2 is coming." Like you definitely didn't have to wait that long, my guy. Like we could have guessed that, but like they waited a few weeks to officially announce. Probably because they were trying to get their ducks in a row, make sure everybody wanted to come back, and wanted that they had something lined up. So I'm sure that was probably why, but. Yeah, so season 2 will be out, probably not until 2024, I would assume. I'm sure they're probably filming this year, and then we'll probably have it out maybe like early or mid next year would be my assumption. Maybe even like fall next year. I'm really not too sure, but next year it'll be out, I'm sure. So stay tuned for that. But other than that, I mean, is there anything else that you really want to mention about this? Like I said, I don't want to go super in detail. I don't want to go episode by episode just because it's too much. It would be too long. It's a series, so it's kind of hard to unpack it all unless you are doing multiple episodes for it. But I think that's really all I have. Like I said, I just loved it.
It's good. If you like Addams Family, if you like Edward Scissorhands, Scream,
Tim Burton, like you'll like it. Just watch it. Yeah, but other than that, I think that's it for Wednesday Talk. It's kind of probably shorter than maybe some others, but I think where we want to go from here really quick is just address what we were talking about in the beginning of this episode and the gripe that we have with certain characters in the horror community, certain fans, I should say, of the horror community.
Let me be the first to tell you personally. Fuck you! Piece of shit. See you.
So, like we said, in the beginning here. This all comes and stems from a TikTok video that we made making fun of Midsommar because we don't like Midsommar.
This sounds like a public apology, but we're actually doubling down.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how to explain it because it's like, I don't want this to make up or take up too much time because I don't want, if this person ever listens to this and thinks like, oh, like I'm really occupying a space in your mind. Like, no, not really. I just want to address it.
We have to set this boundary now for our listeners specifically. If you do this, we're going to call you out and be like, you're out of line. If you do that again, like, you're gone. We're just going to ban accounts that do this shit. Like, we don't put up with this fucking shit.
Essentially, that's what this is.
Like, we're people... Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like a public service announcement and just like if you're a person in the horror community who feels like your opinion is the only opinion and you can't like make jokes about or just in general just recognize and acknowledge that other people have varying opinions from you, then you're a shitty horror fan and that's just that. That's how I feel about it. Like, I obviously have very strong opinions about certain things myself. Like I've said multiple times, I did not like the new Pet Sematary remake. I didn't like the new Texas Chainsaw remake. And those are two very specific ones that I am very heavily like opinionized about, I guess you could say. Like if somebody were to tell me like, oh, I really like that movie, like how'd you not like it? I'd be like, no, you shouldn't have liked that. Like that, not bad. Like, but at the same time, like it would be in a joking manner. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't actually think that my opinion is any better than yours. Like I just kind of joke about it. Like, oh, like if you like that movie, you suck. But not in a serious like, you know what I mean? Like it's not, my opinion doesn't mean shit. It's my opinion.
You know me, I like to fucking argue and like try to persuade people for my opinion.
Yeah.
But with this kind of shit, like I will go at your fucking neck about like just trying to influence you to like believe what I am too, or like see things the way I am.
Yeah.
I don't care at the end of the day. Like,
that's what I
can
mean. Like,
turn my back and not care.
I don't give a shit
like,
about your opinion or my opinion. Like, no opinion's better than any. It's a fucking opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit. Like, it's not that deep. But some people think it's that deep, and it's like they really judge your whole character off of how you feel about a fucking movie. And I'm like,
and that's
damn.
We're coming out now and saying the second that you start coming for us personally, just for a movie opinion that we have. You're gone.
Yeah.
Get the fuck away. We don't want you as a listener. We don't want you as a viewer. We don't want you as a fan. Back the fuck off.
Yeah.
Whatever parasocial bullshit that you want to try to pull, whatever you want to try to call us, label us as, get the fuck away. You don't know us. We're not your fucking friends. We have certain friends from our viewers, obviously. They know who they are.
Yeah.
We specifically talk to those people. We're creators. We're here to provide a service for you. That's where it ends.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to fucking dive into our psyches and try to analyze us. If we want to share information with you about us personally so we can relate to you a little bit better, we'll do that. That does not give you permission to psychoanalyze, label us politically, label us this. Shut the fuck up.
Pretty much.
Like, boundaries are firm now. Like, if you do that, you're gone. That's it.
Yeah. And the thing was this, like, this dude wasn't even a listener. He literally just stumbled across a TikTok and, again, another Midsummer dick rider, and he's like, oh, you didn't like it because you don't get it. And then just progressed from there into more like, oh, well, it's because you sympathize more with Christian's character. And, oh, it's because you think that that's okay. And you're this type of, like, it's like, dude, come on. It's a fucking movie, dude.
Yeah.
Like, is it really that deep to you? Like, it was literally a fucking, like, 10, not even 10 second, like, probably like a 5-second TikTok video making fun of this movie that we thought was shitty. And dude had a whole heart attack about it. And it's like, oh,
people
imagine.
tie themselves up too personally. And
yeah, like it's a fucking movie, dude. And not even a good enough movie to really be that fucking butthurt over, in my opinion. Again, opinion.
Like, that's what I don't understand. It's like, if these movies are affecting you to that fucking level, you need to seek help. Like, it's a fucking movie. I understand a lot of them elicit emotions that make you contemplate your own life, make you relate to things in your own life. That's a different fucking thing.
Yeah.
When you're adamantly going at somebody's neck about whatever weird personal love you have for this fucking movie, and like you're threatening people or you're insulting them, you're like to bring their family, friend, whatever you're fucking doing, you're taking it too far, and you need to seek help. Yeah. It's too much. Yeah. We don't have that type of relationship.
Yeah. That's why for those of you who are curious, seeing like want to maybe go check out the video, but I deleted that thread. The thread's no longer there. Like I wasn't gonna waste. I wasn't personally arguing with him. He was kind of more or less back and forth with Adam about their opinions because like I kind of stayed out of it. I'm more or less when I comment on back to people on these videos, especially those who don't agree with me and think that this movie was good or whatever. I'll comment back and I'll be like, it's okay. Like we have different opinions. That's fine. Like that's kind of how this shit works. You're gonna feel differently than I feel, so that's fine. Like I'm fine coexisting with you within the horror community. And that's typically what my comments are, and that's kind of what my comment was to this guy. And then, it just progressed from there between him and Adam, and it just like I'm not gonna leave that on the page. Like I'm gonna delete the fucking thread, and that we're done with it. And he wasn't a follower of ours, so I'm hoping he won't maybe like interact with any more of our videos. But if it comes down to that, I'll block the user, and then that'll be the end of it. But and again, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it. Like we're just setting our boundaries is basically where the line is drawn. It's like you're not going to label us as somebody because of our opinion on a movie. You know what I mean?
And especially like it was such an absurd situation. Like I do take a lot of like personal accountability just because I was kind of trolly and like escalating a little bit. But, like, at the same time, every single message that he came was, like, another personal attack on us. And it's like, why? Like, there's no fucking
Or not
point.
even an argument, really. At first, it was
it's like you're just fucking coming for our intelligence
stupid.
and whatever. You're trying to, like, talk down to us.
A horror fan
like, fuck you.
Who feels like he is better than others. Again, because of the whole elevated horror argument where it's like, oh, you just don't like it because you don't get it. It's just too long for you. Too hard for you to sit through.
Sympathize with the wrong characters.
Yeah.
I can sympathize with whoever the fuck I want. If there's a serial killer in a fucking movie who slices and dices every fucking person that he comes in contact with, and I want to sympathize with that character, I have no fucking moral obligation to you to say, I'm not going to do that. I don't feel right about that.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want. It's my fucking opinion. It's my personal time to watch this fucking movie and enjoy it.
And the thing...
Fuck you.
And it's like, why does that label you as XYZ for your opinion on a movie? That's what, like, how can you say, I don't know, man. Like, it's just...
Like, I saw a little bit of myself in this character, so I like that character a little bit more. Yeah. Sorry. Fuck me, I guess. I just don't get it, my dude. Like, I understand some people are just, like, too much, and that's essentially what I'm going to label this dude as, is too much. And I doubt he'll ever listen to this, because he doesn't want to spoon feed us, as he said. So what? Whatever.
Which is fine by me, no problem. I don't need your spoon, my guy.
I don't need you here. But get the fuck out of my space.
I just wanted to address it because I felt like it needed to be addressed for anybody who may have seen the thread and seen like the disgusting things that this dude was saying and like trying to paint Adam in this picture, whereas you're not that person. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know anything about us besides the fucking 5-second TikTok video that you just watched and the maybe 5 minutes of dialogue that you listened to our Midsummer episode on, because you didn't want to spoon feed us and listen to the whole thing where we further explain how we actually felt about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay though. You don't need to spoon feed us. It's fine. Keep your spoon, my guy.
I'll bring up 2 of the things he said, basically. And I'll make this very clear. If Michael thought I was a pedophile rapist sympathizer, he would not be doing this podcast with me. He has known me for 21 fucking years.
Yeah.
We would not have any of what we're doing today if that's the type of person I fucking was. Like,
1,000%.
It's wild assumptions that these people are making.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and when it comes to mine and Adam's relationship as well, there's a lot of things that we bicker about and a lot of things that we don't agree with. And even if you roll back the Midsummer episode, not that we had like very different opinions of the movie, but when it came to the whole Christian and Danny situation, we were kind of like, I wouldn't say on fully opposite sides, but we were not on the same, you know what I mean? Like, you were less sympathetic with Danny's character because you were more on the boat that she was using her trauma as a way to just manipulate people around her, which isn't a bad opinion to have. It's an opinion.
No, and guess what? I draw that from personal fucking shit that's happened to me. Sorry I relate it like that because I've had that fucking shit happen to me, and it's played out exactly fucking like that.
Exactly. So,
I was literally put out fucking in public, not to literally fucking burn, but like figuratively to burn on a fucking stake in front of friends and family for no fucking reason, but because someone was spiteful.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, we were on opposite ends of that, and I kind of at the end was more or less happy that Danny was finally happy. Like, didn't like the way that it ended necessarily, that she chose to kill her partner, even though he was doing some shitty things. Like, yeah, he's a shitty person, but does he deserve death at the end of that? Not really. No. So, like, I can sympathize with his character for that reason alone. But like I said, like, at the end of the day, we have varying opinions on certain things and certain, just in real life too, and just general, like, ideologies. But we're still friends. And if I really felt like he was a douchebag, like, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't talk to you. Like, if I felt like if you were that
there's
far,
like whole other depths to people that go like beyond whatever the fucking mundane shit they believe in.
That's because we've known each other for all those years. Whereas this dude, again, saw a 5-second TikTok and your banter to him, and you're basically, like you said, trolling banter to him. It wasn't even like a real fucking conversation at first. And he just automatically assumed your character was this fucking misogynistic dickhead. And I'm just like, damn, dude, like, come on. It's a fucking TikTok. Like, are you kidding? Like, it's a TikTok about a movie we both didn't like for varying reasons, which you would have heard the varying reasons had you listened to the episode, but whatever, you didn't.
The thing is, too, like, in that thread, I put a very, like, clearly thought out thread to, like, what I believed, like, was happening. Like, an old Reddit thread from a couple years ago that, like, I brought it up to you, and I was like, hey, like, I never saw, like, my thoughts really, like, this clearly written out. Like, this is really well thought out. Like, you should take a look at this because this explains it a lot better. So I posted that and I was like, here, like, this explains everything a lot better. Like, if you want to read this, immediately to the fucking insults. So it's like, you didn't, okay, you're obviously not here to have, like, a dialogue.
Yeah. So
I'm just gonna fucking troll you now.
And that was that. And that's just the general PSA, I guess, we wanted to put out. Or it's just like, we're not going to put up with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, I should have deleted the thread kind of immediately. I shouldn't have even entertained it at all and shouldn't have let the conversation continue. I should have just been like, fuck that guy. Like, we're not even going to entertain him, give him the time of day. Just delete it, be done with it. But I just kind of felt like Adam can hold his own and he can just fucking, you know what I mean? And he did. It's just once the dude started going to insults, that's when I was like, you know what? I'm shutting that down, deleting that. We're not going to continue. I don't want anybody spreading any type of rhetoric about us and thinking that we're this type of way or we're that type of way when you can just... It's the internet. You can make assumptions about anybody for any fucking thing that they do, but like...
We will respect you full-heartedly until you disrespect us.
Yeah, pretty much. And that was disrespectful.
All bets are off. Like, we'll fucking come for your neck.
Yeah, so...
Not threatening way, not legal threat.
Figuratively, like, we're just gonna, we're gonna call you out on it, and that's that.
Yeah.
Again, not gonna give you any names. You can't go see the thread. It's deleted, so, like, it's done. It is what it is. But just that general PSA, like, don't label us as anything when you don't know us personally. You just know a very small portion of us that we allow you to see on the internet, and that is not anywhere close to who we are as real people. You know what I mean? Like, this is a show, and us trying to entertain you, and we've done that for the most part. I've received comments from people like, thanks for making me laugh, like, thanks, you know what I mean? Like, that's the goal. We're just kind of here to talk shit and just shits and giggles. Like, that's all. Like, don't analyze us as people, because this is a fucking show. It
disappoints me more when that shit starts happening. And, like, I mean, I want to make this something for us, like, have it be big and have it, like, get to a point where we can actually, like, make a living off of it. That persuades me in the other direction when I start to see that shit. It really kills that dream of, like, hey, I really want to go big, because the more people see our shit, the more that shit's going to
I was going to say, the bigger you are, though, the more fucking people you have that are going to be on your back about every little thing.
That is true as well, yeah.
You kind of have to build thick skin to be in this type of industry. And that's, like I said in the beginning, I knew this was going to come at some point. I didn't expect it so early when we're kind of still nobodies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, that's what I'm like, I think we should probably
appreciate it, I guess. It's kind of giving us, like, a look of what could be to come if we were to ever, take off and make this something more than just a little side, like, hobby that we do. But, just, again, wanted to address it, and I'm going to I'm going to officially check that off of my mind, and it is no longer, like, it is, I talked about it, it's done, and...
I honestly completely forgot about it until you messaged me, I was like, hey, I deleted it. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Just wanted to address it, just to, like I said, I don't want you to think that it's been, lingering and bothering us, but I just needed to address it because
No, you're just a fucking dickhead.
yeah, I need to address it because like don't tell me what I am when you don't know me. So that's all. Even though it wasn't even directed at me necessarily.
No, it was. I mean, it kind of is though.
Like,
Like when you're saying
don't say that.
the Deadlight Society, that's addressing both of us.
So
and you you cross the line.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, don't tell me who I am. Thank you. But other than that, I think that's it for this week. I know this is not the Collector, which is what we have promised for the past 2 weeks. We'll get there.
I don't know when that's going to happen. It's like the Blob. Who knows?
It'll happen eventually. I'm sorry. We'll get there. Just Adam finally finished Wednesday, so we had to talk about it. Just a brief conversation on Wednesday. And yeah, I think that's all for this week, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be it. We're going to cut it there. We do have a giveaway coming up, so maybe we'll release some more details on next week's episode for that. But do stay tuned for that, and it's going to be a pretty cool giveaway. At least I think so. So stay tuned for those of you who have reached it this far in the episode, the very last minute. But giveaway coming.
When y'all see it, you're going to be like, okay.
Yeah. We have one coming, and it's going to be pretty cool, and it's just regular giveaway stuff, like, like, follow, comment, tag a friend, and then you'll be entered. So that's coming. We will release details either next episode or the episode after that. We'll also have a video.
If we do bi-weekly or weekly.
Yeah, true. That's it. We'll also have a very short, like maybe 5-10 minute video explaining the details. Probably like 5 minutes, I would assume. It's not really that deep.
Did we even announce anniversary stuff yet? I forget if we did that last episode.
I don't know. We kind of just talked like, next episode. Well, the beginning of the episode, because that's when we kind of have the most retention. A lot of people don't make it to the very last minute here, so I don't want to announce anything right now. But next episode, we will announce giveaway, anniversary details, live details, just a bunch of stuff that we have that's in the works. So stay tuned for those of you who are still listening, and we will see you next week for all that and whatever movie, TV show, game, whatever we decide to do. So, see you next week.
See you next week.